the second case for the parallel mirror where I have taken the question is the problem number 2. Number of images formed due to two plane mirror parallel to each other, that is 180 degree. But now my dear, this is very important. Right now they are not completely facing, as in my first diagram they were completely facing, but now they are partially facing each other. The two mirror are partially facing each other, and the diagram, say the question is given like this. Say this is one mirror. I name this mirror as M1, and let this is another mirror, and I name this mirror as M2. This is the two mirror I have given, they have given me. These are the two mirror they have given me, right? Now say the point object I have taken here. This is the point object in between the mirror. Say it is at this much distance from the mirror M1, and say this is at this much distance. I don't measure the distance, let it is at this distance. Not necessary it is kept exactly between, at some distance from M1 and some distance from M2. Okay, and this is the point object is kept. Now my dear, what is the first rule? That कि जितना distance पे object है from mirror M1, उतने ही distance पे image बनेगा inside the mirror M1. I will do that. So the image will form, let over here for this object is at this point. Say I name this image as I1. Similarly, from mirror M2 also the object is over here. जितनी दूर पे object है, right? इतनी दूर पे यहाँ image बनेगा in the inside the mirror M2. Let the image is formed here, and let the image named as I2. I hope it is clear. Now let us complete the ray diagram, because as I told you, from the point object, again I repeat, here is the point object. Let it is at x distance from mirror M1, right? Is that clear? So जितने distance पे है उतने distance पे the image will form inside the mirror, that is at x distance. Similarly, let it is at y distance from mirror M2. So at the same equal y distance the image will form inside the mirror, let that is I2. Okay, this is the simple one. This is my trick also. तो ये बार बार याद रखना कि whatever be the distance of the object from the mirror, at the same equal distance the image will be formed inside the mirror, right? Now let's go to the next to complete the ray diagram. Do you think what will be the number of images in this question? I am giving you 4 options. The number of image is infinite, the number of image is 3, the number of image is 2, or the number of image is 4. Let us check it out. What will be the number of image in this question? Now, so up till now, right now I am getting only 2 image. One is I1 and other is I2 using my trick. Now let us draw the ray diagram for this, whether we are really getting any other image also. Now, so what I told you, from the point object, what are the 2 points I told you? Whenever we draw the ray diagram, we draw the 2 rays. One is the normal incident ray. So let us begin with the things. This is the point object. I have drawn normal incident ray from the point object as I am drawing, which will be incident normally on the mirror M1, and it will reflect back along the same path. So this is one ray. Let another incident ray I have drawn here from point object O. This is incident ray, right? Let it is striking the mirror M1 at point R, which will reflect here, and it will be produced from back like this, or it will be produced inside the mirror like this. This is the reflection, and this is produced inside the mirror at I1 from beginning only 1, right? Now similarly, this is the one image I1 I got because of mirror M1 due to the point object O. Now next step, Similarly, as I have observed that I2 is the image already I obtained with the help of mirror M2, let us complete the ray diagram for I2, for image I2. Similarly, here also, the first two ray I required from the point object, like one ray is going this way, incident normally on the plane mirror, you can see, and it will be reflect back along the same path. So this is first normal ray on mirror M2. Similarly, let us draw, I have drawn the another ray. Now another ray I have drawn, say here, from the point object O, which incident at say point S on the mirror M2, which reflect here and it meet at I2. You can see, right? Now my dear, I got the ray diagram, one for mirror I1, other for one for image I1 and other for image I2. You can see the ray diagram. Now here, look at it. What is happening? Do you find any mirror here in the space? No. The mirror is beginning from here and ending over here. So there is no mirror over here. So this reflected ray will go in surrounding directly. There is no mirror here to go for further reflection. What actually we are looking in previous problem. In previous problem, since the mirror are facing each other completely, and this is the reason why एक image reflection निकलता था, mirror को again strike कर रहा था, and then again the reflection taking place. But here, since here there is no mirror, because mirror is not completely facing each other, they are partially facing. And therefore here the reflection which is taking place, the first reflection you can say, is going in surrounding directly. There is no mirror here. Similarly here, the reflection which is taking place is directly going in surrounding. There is no mirror because mirror M1 is ending here. Starting here and ending here. There is no mirror in this region. So this ray will be going surrounding. So ultimately there is no reflection further takes place for this refracted ray and not for this refracted ray. Both the refracted ray will go in surrounding because there is no mirror on this side and neither on this side. So the final answer for this question, where again the mirror is kept parallel, but the answer, the number of images formed in the question, in the answer is 2. So please don't mug that whenever the mirror are parallel, answer is infinite. The number of images which is formed is infinite. No. Look at the problem situation. If mirror are completely facing each other, then the number of images is infinite. But if mirror is partially facing each other like this, if this is a question given, then the number of images is 2. Please write down fast, and then I will show you what happened when mirror kept perpendicular to each other. My next video, my next class is on what happened when the mirror are kept perpendicular to each other, because I have discussed the two cases. For the mirror kept parallel, one case where the mirror are completely facing each other and the other case where the mirror are partially facing each other. But now in my video, you will observe what happened, how much number of images will form when mirror are kept perpendicular to each other, and then I will discuss what happened if mirror are neither parallel nor perpendicular, they are inclined to some angle. Please write down fast, then I will proceed for the next talk. Well, in my last video, I have told you about the parallel pictures, that how the images will form for the parallel images for the parallel plane mirror. Now let's go to the question. As I told you, the next problem, number of images formed due to two plane mirror when mirrors are kept perpendicular to each other. perpendicular to each other. That is, theta is equal to 90 degree between them. And I think many students have marked it that the number of images in the perpendicular case is 3. I think many of you are knowing also. But today this is the next numerical I am taking by keeping the two plane mirror perpendicular to each other, and this is say the problem number 3, right? So say I have taken two mirrors, say the one mirror is this, I named it as say M1, and say another mirror I have taken like this, let this mirror is M2. So this is the two mirror which is kept perpendicular to each other, you can see in my diagram. And let I am taking the object over here, the point object over here, which is at the perpendicular bisector, of mirror M1 and M2. I can keep this object anywhere, but right now again, as I told you in my earlier videos, that first I am taking small numerical, the simple numerical, and then we will go for complex one. So this is simple. Object is, you can say here, object lies symmetrically between two mirrors. Yeah, between two mirrors you can say. Here the object lies symmetrically between two mirrors. Symmetrically means from mirror M1 how much degree? You can write 45 degree. You can see 45 degree. From mirror M2 also it is at 45 degree because I have kept it at perpendicular bisector of M1 and M2. I have taken small numerical, a simple numerical. Okay. So now let us draw the ray diagram for this, and with the help of ray diagram we will decide how many number of image. Okay, as what I am doing in the plane mirror parallel cases, another parallel cases where they are not facing completely, they are facing partially, and everywhere I have drawn the ray diagram, and with the help of ray diagram I have decided how many number of images will form. In this case also we will draw the ray diagram, and then it will make us to understand that what will be the number of image in the case when the two mirrors are perpendicular. Okay. Now, my dear, so first of all, we will note down the distance of the object from the mirror M1, right? So object is at this much distance, you can see from mirror M1, itne distance pe object hai. So at the same distance the image will form inside the mirror M1. Say here, this is first image I1. I have written I1. Okay. Now, similarly, the object is at certain distance from mirror M2. You can see, right? It is at a distance, say this much distance from M2. M2 se itni duri pe hai. Now, itne hi dur pe the image will be obtained here inside the mirror. Say I2. So right now I got two image, you can see. Am I clear? With the point object O capped symmetrically between the mirror M1 and M2, ये दिखाई दे रहा है कि I am getting two image by method of tricks which I have given you. कि object is at this much distance, image will observe at this much distance, same distance from mirror M1 inside. Similarly, object is at this much distance from M2, similarly the image will be obtained at the same distance inside the mirror M2 as that of the object. So two images I am getting from previously. Now let us draw the ray diagram for this. Right? Let us draw the ray diagram for this. How it will be get over. Now first ray which I asked you to draw the normal. So I have drawn, this is the point object. I have drawn the normal incident on plane mirror M1 like this, that is perpendicular on M1, which is refracted back here on the same path. Let another incident ray I have drawn here from point object O on M1, right, which refracted here and it gives the image at I1. It gives the image at I1. I hope it is clear. Right. Now similarly, let us do the ray diagram for mirror M2 with respect to image I2. Let us draw the normal incident on the mirror from point object O. This is the normal incident on mirror M2 from point object O. Normally incident refracted back along the same path. Another ray, say incident at this point. Here I am incidenting. Say another ray is incident at this point. At this point, this is the incident ray from point object O. It is incidenting at here on mirror M2. Right? Say here it is incident at point S on mirror M1. Let it incident at point Q on M2. Right? This is another incident ray which is refracted here. You can see which is produced inside the mirror M2. And it meet at point I2. You can see in the diagram. Okay. Now my dear, in my diagram, we are very sure that till now we are getting two images. And I have completed the ray diagram also. One image is I1 and other image is I2 for the case. But my dear, assume this question this way. I'll show you roughly also. Assume this question this way. For example, if I extend this mirror M1 like this, try to understand. Don't you think now mirror M1 is from here to here? You can see in the diagram, the mirror M1 is from here to here. I have extended it. Say I have extended the mirror. In the imagination, I am giving you one of the rule, the better rule. Okay, what I am doing to get the answer. Okay, and then I will show you by the ray diagram also, don't worry. But I have extended the mirror, say like this. Don't you think, beta, that mirror M1 is from this point to this point? Don't you think now the image I2, this image I2 will be act as the object? Will be act as the object. For which mirror? For mirror M1. So here I am writing this will act as virtual object for mirror M1 and कितनी दूर पे है? This is at this much distance. At the same distance I will get the image here and I will name this as I3. Or do one thing, extend the mirror M2. Say I am extending the mirror M2. You can see here, in the same manner as when I extended M1, I2 act as the object for mirror M1 and it give an image at I3 inside the mirror M1. Now when I extended mirror M2, don't you think I1 act as the virtual object for mirror M2 and this is at this much distance. इतने दूर पे है from mirror M2. तो इतनी दूर पे inside the mirror M2 the image is formed. Again at I3. So, in this way, my dear, I think we have three images, I1, I2 and I3 in this question. So, this is one method I have given. I hope it is clear. And you can see, I3 is the image of, not the real object. I3 is the image formed due to the virtual object that is I1 and I2. If I1 is taken as the image for mirror M1, it will be act as the virtual object. जब मैंने mirror M2 को बढ़ा दिया, mirror M2 को जब मैंने extend किया, तो ये I1 mirror M2 के लिए become a virtual object and ये इतनी दूर पे था mirror M2 से, उतने दूर पे inside the mirror M2 it form an image. और दूसरे way में, if I extend mirror M1 like this, the I2 which I am getting here will be act as the virtual object for mirror M1. पहले mirror यहीं तक था, मैंने imagination में इसको extend किया to get the knowledge whether how much image we are getting. So I extended this. So now I2 act as the object for mirror M1 और ये कितने दूर पे है, उतने ही दूर पे M1 के अंदर, M1 के inside we got an image, and again that is I3. This means that I3 is, there are 4 images should get, है ना. I1 का image यहाँ मिल रहा है, I2 का image यहाँ मिल रहा है. Actually हुआ क्या? The thing is that both I1 and I2, the image because of this 2 is obtained at the same point, I3. So only 3 images we are getting, right? So here the number of images is 3. Now look at this with the ray diagram. How it is possible with the ray diagram. Now my dear, I am drawing here some free body diagram. Can I do like this? For example, this is a mirror. This is mirror M1 and this is mirror M2. Okay. So this is one method I have given. But sometimes the student says, sir, why you extended the mirror in imagination and all. So look at its right proof that how I am getting this image I3. My dear, here is the object at point O, at the perpendicular bisector. Don't you think I can draw the incident ray from object like this on mirror M2? Assume करो कि एक incident ray मैंने ऐसे बनाया, which incident at the point M2 at this point, which will be reflect here. Try to understand. यहाँ incident हुआ, here it reflect, and from here it will fall on this mirror M1, and from here it will reflect like this, which will be produced at the back like this. Similarly, my dear, say another ray is incidenting like this from point object O on mirror M1. जैसे यहाँ से M2 पे गिरा, यहाँ गया, राइट? यहाँ से ये ऐसे गया और ये मैंने प्रोड्यूस किया बैक में. You can see. Similarly, say another ray is incidenting here at M1, and it will be reflect here like this. From here it incident here, and from here it reflected like this, which is move further, and they meet at this point. So try to understand, this is what I am doing roughly. Let us do the same here. Say one ray is going like this from point object O like this. It move, here it incident on mirror M2. Try to understand that how I am getting this image. एक तो method मैंने क्या बताया? My easy method. You do one thing, extend the mirror in your imagination like this, as I did. I am repeating again so that you understood this video lecture. So एक method क्या है कि sir, I have extended mirror M2 like this. The image I1 now act as the object, virtual object for mirror M2, जिसका image I am getting at equal distance inside the mirror M2, that is I3. Or I can extend the mirror M1 like this, you can see here, and here is the image I2 I am getting earlier, right? Now this I2 will be act as the object for mirror M1, and it is at this much distance from M1, इतने दूरी पे M1 से. So now this will give the image at the same distance here inside the mirror, and both the image is coinciding. The image due to I1 and the image due to I2 actually is coinciding and meeting at point I3. Am I clear? And therefore we have the 3 images. Am I clear? But this is one method, an easy method to get the answer. But if anybody will ask you to show by the ray diagram then the ray diagram for this will be like this. So I'm doing it. Look at it carefully. So one incidenting I'm doing with the black pen, another incidenting I'm doing with the blue pen, and then I will blue and black pen will be joined at the point I3. You can see. So let the first incident ray for image I3 I'm doing. The first incident ray say is reaching an incident at this mirror M2. यहाँ से it go like this, क्योंकि मिरर तो रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा, तो ये यहाँ इंसिडेंट हुआ तो यहाँ से यहाँ गया, एंड देन ये मिरर पे इंसिडेंट किया. नाउ फ्रॉम दिस मिरर इट विल गो लाइक दिस, like this, and it will come at the back and it will meet at point I3. You can draw like this. You can see. Okay. Okay. Now another. ये तो मैंने कौन से मिरर पे इंसिडेंट किया था? At mirror M2 I have incident. Now let another ray incident at M1 like this. Please try to understand. So one ray incident at this point, reflected here. I am repeating again and again so that you understand the diagram. It incident here. From here it will be reflected here. Like this, which I produce at the back, and I ask to meet at the point I3 like this. Similarly, the another ray from point object O will incident at the mirror M1. It will be reflect from mirror M1 like this. You can see the diagram, see it carefully. It will reflect from mirror M1 like this. It will fall on mirror M2, and from mirror M2 it will be reflected here, which is meeting further at the back and getting the image at I3. So my dear, please take care that there are two methods I taught. One, directly extended the mirror, I got the image. Answer I3 है, अगर बहुत shortcut में देना है, nobody is asking the ray diagram. So I have given the earlier one. By just extending the mirror, we got the image. कैसे? Sir, पहले mirror यहाँ तक था. We are getting two image. One is I1, other is I2. Right? But for third image, what I have given you trick, that extend the mirror M1 like this. I have extended so that I2 become the object now. For mirror M1, this object called virtual object. So I2 is at this much distance, इतनी दूरी पे I2 है from M1, उतने दूरी पे inside the mirror M1 we get an image, and I name that as I3. Or what I did, I suggested extend the mirror M2 like this. You have extended the mirror M2, right? I1 here is already the image due to the M1, due to the mirror M1 of point object O. ये image I1, when I extended mirror M2, now this I1 acts as the virtual object for mirror M2. I have written here. कितनी दूरी पे ये है? इतनी दूरी पे है. इतने दूर पे I got the image inside the mirror M2, and both the image due to I1 and due to I2, both this image are coinciding at point I3. Am I clear? So we are getting three image, which is very easy. But if anybody will ask you to draw the ray diagram, so I have drawn the ray diagram for the first two cases. You can see the ray diagram I already drawn for I1 and I2. Now for I3, what I should do? This is the point object. I have taken one of the ray like this. Here again I am doing. Please check it out. Is incident at the point this on mirror M2. From mirror M2 it will be reflected here and fall on mirror M1. From mirror M1 it will be reflected here, and this image, this reflection will be produced inside the mirror M1 because it was reflected due to M1. Am I clear? So it will be produced inside the mirror M1 and it is coming to the point I3. Similarly, I have taken another ray falling from point object O, started from point object O, incident on the mirror M1, you can see with the blue pen, and this will be incident here at M1, mirror M1, from there it will reflected here, it will go here, that is it will be incident on mirror M2, from M2 it will be reflected as you can see in my diagram, and then this also produce inside the mirror, and both these rays are meeting at the point I3. So please everybody draw this diagram, and the answer for this question is 3 images. Number of images formed is 3. Here also I have drawn the diagram to show you, but no need to draw this diagram. So take care of this, that you can see again one explanation for this, the last one, right? Now again you can see here is the mirror M1, okay, and here is the mirror M2, okay. Now, and this is the perpendicular bisector of this. Let the point object is here. What I did, pehla ray I have taken here, fall on mirror M2. From mirror M2 it will be went here. From here it will went here. That is reflection takes place from M2. It will be come at the back. Similarly, I am rubbing this, I am writing here. This is the virtual object for mirror M1. Well, so this will be coming back at the back to this point, say. Similarly, say one more ray will be falling over here from point object O on mirror M1. It will be reflected here. From mirror M1 it will reflect here, fall on mirror M2. From M2 it will reflect here, and this also produce inside, and both this will be meet at point I3. So this is what is actually doing for the third image I3. Rest all is okay. Rest all is okay for I1 and I2. So please draw this diagram, copy it out, and if you have any doubt about this question, you can put me on the question on my email. I will show you one more case of 90 degree where the mirror is kept perpendicular to each other, but the number of images is not 3, some other answer. As in the cases of parallel, the number of images answers were different. Similarly, in case of perpendicular also, it doesn't make a sense that every time the answer will be, number of images will be 3. It will be something else also. Depend how we kept the two mirror, even in the case of perpendicular. Please do it, and then I will continue after writing on this. Well, now discuss the problem number 4, when the number of images formed due to two plane mirrors. I told you in my continuing video that when mirrors are kept perpendicular to each other, theta 90 degree. Fourth problem, now the mirror kept this way. Look at it and let me know whether it is perpendicular. Say this is mirror M1. Here is the object, say. Here is the object. And this is not this. Here is mirror M2. This is the question. You can see. Still, my dear, I am sure when I joined this mirror, right now they are not joined. In earlier case, the question was this. Try to understand. The first case, the question was like this. This is mirror M1 and this is mirror M2. Okay. And here both the mirror are joined together and the object is kept here. At the perpendicular bisector, the object is here of mirror M1 and M2. Try to differentiate. But now the object is over here. You can see. And still the mirror is perpendicular because one mirror is like this. You can see here. Another mirror is like this. So if I bring this mirror here, you can see it is perpendicular. So still the mirror M1 and M2 are perpendicular in the diagram. Okay. So now what I should do is, let us note down, let us answer me how much will be the number of images in this case. The answer are 4 option, infinity, 3 image as what I am getting in this case, in the earlier for 90 degree, 2 image or 5 image. The answer is 3, 2, 5, infinity. What is the answer? Again, I will do this question with the help of ray diagram. My dear, why I am saying again and again that I am solving these numericals, this problem with the help of ray diagram, because there is some other method also. There is, in my another video, I will upload all those methods also. If you wish, you can do it with because this is very important numerical with the exam point of view, your competitive point of view also. Right? My dear, there is a lot of question based on plane mirror, that and the plane mirror is either inclined or they are at 90 degree or they are parallel to each other. There are many questions based on it. If you are going through with the different books, you are observing this kind of a numericals apart from NCERT. So here, how we will go for this question? Again, I am cracking it by ray diagram. As I said, there are the various methods. Circular tricks method is one method. Criss-cross method. There is one method called criss-cross method. A beautiful method to get the number of images answer in the cases of plane mirrors. Right? I will show you that also in my another video, my next videos. Right? And the last method, apart from this, because sometimes the ray diagram is very difficult to draw. Why the methods are given? To crack the same numericals, why the methods are given? Because sometime for some situation, for some problem, drawing ray diagram is very difficult. Halat kharab ho jayega. And in that situation, you have to use some alternative method to get the number of images. And these alternative methods are circular trick method, criss-cross method or formula method, which is given in all the books. Right? But as far as ray diagram is concerned, let us learn the ray diagram, and with the help of ray diagram, we will crack all these questions. These are the questions and this is the problem given. Okay. Now my dear, here is the object. Very first trick. कितने दूर पे ऑब्जेक्ट है? इतने दूर पे ऑब्जेक्ट है. From mirror M1, image will form at the same distance inside the mirror. यहाँ पे I1. Let us complete the ray diagram for this. One ray, the first ray is the normal incident on mirror M1. Now I'll go fast. Which will be reflected back here. Right? Another ray from point object, say it falling on here. Incident ray at point R, which is reflected here. Right? And this will be produced inside the mirror, which meet at the point I1. Okay, I1 का story over हो गया. Right? Now, similarly, let us try for M2. कितने दूर पे point object है? Sir, इतने दूर पे point object है. You can see इतने दूर पे point object है. At the same equal distance, the image will form here inside the mirror. Say image I2. Now let us complete the ray diagram for image I2. ये तो मैंने with my trick I have earlier only I mark where is my image. See, so nice trick I have given. From beginning only, before drawing the, please try to understand my point. Before drawing the ray diagram, from priorly only I know the position of the image. कि जितने distance पे object है from mirror, उतने distance पे image I will get it. Okay. Now let us complete this ray diagram for I2. Now the two ray will come from point object. One will be normal incident on plane mirror M2, which is normally incident and reflected back along the same path. Say another ray is incidenting here on mirror M2 at this point, which will be reflected here from mirror M2, and it will be produced inside the mirror M2, which meet at the point I2. You can see. I hope it is clear. So how many images till now I am getting? 2 image, one image I1, other image I2. That is 2 image. Now my dear, the third image which we were getting earlier, in earlier case, I will not get any image, because if ray of light will fall anywhere from point object to, यहाँ कहीं mirror नहीं है. Try to understand. In first case, the mirror was joined here. I hope it is clear. And then the ray from the point object O can fall here, incident at M2, going at M1, reflected from M1, coming at back. Similarly, another ray from point object O fall on M2, fall on M1, right? Reflected here, it will be incident on M2, from here it is reflected and it meet at the back. And we are getting the third image I3 in that case. But here there is, even if the light will be come from point object O, in this area there is no mirror. There is no mirror. I hope it is clear, my dear. So please take care, because now there is no question of extending. Here I am extending the mirror because the mirror was joined at one point. Both mirror are joined at one point where they make an angle of 90 degree. Here the mirror are not joined. They kept perpendicular, but at some distance from each other. They are apart from each other, but their nature is perpendicular. So try to understand. See, I have drawn in my diagram. I draw the light from the point object here, it is not falling on the mirror. But in previous case, it was falling on the mirror. One ray fall on mirror M2, reflected from M2, went on M1. From M1 it reflected here and produced back inside the mirror. Similarly, another ray from point object O fall on M1, reflected from M1, reach on M2, again from M2 it reflected and produced at the back, meeting at I3. But here, even the light will come from point object O, there is no mirror where it will fall and reflection takes place. So ultimately, what is the answer here? This is not possible in this case. So ultimately, how many images are formed? Even the case is perpendicular, the answer is number of images is 2. So this is what I wanted to convey you through my video, that it is not necessary that every time if the mirror cap perpendicular, the number of images is 3 only. So don't mug such kind of a problem. Please try to understand the situation of the problem. In earlier case, the mirror was like this, and now the mirror is like this, but still it is perpendicular. So in this case, the number of images is 2, and earlier case is number of images is 3. Now my dear, I will stop here and I will continue my next video where I will show you the same kind of a numerical with a different situation and with the different method, because the different methods are required, because we cannot tackle all the numerical with the ray diagram. We should know some formula method, crisscross method, circular trick method also to deal with such numericals. Thank you very much.